So over this weekend, we have the Tank Davis Gamboa fight, the card, and you know, it revealed a lot about Tank's future. Tank as the future of boxing, if Tank will be the future of boxing, and his how his presence at 135 might go. But before that, the undercard fight, like I want to know how you guys had the Jean Pascal Badu Jack fight. I kind of had it as a draw, or I had like Badu Jack edging it. I think Jack does himself a disservice by giving up too many rounds in the beginning. He's kind of, or maybe Pascal was just that dominant in the beginning. I wouldn't know. I mean, I'd have to rewatch the fight again. But yeah, getting to the main event in the Gamboa Davis fight. Now before the fight, what kind of shocked me was Davis missed weight at 135, even though he's moving up from 130 and he has made weight at 130. He kind of missed weight. I'm not sure how he missed it. Uh, this. See, when a fighter misses weight moving up, the most probable thing is, you know, he took it too lightly, a lack of commitment, things like that. Or, there could be a lot of factors as to why, but the most common thing is he losing his dedication to the sport? But he makes weight an hour later and the fight's on. Now, the result we all know is that Davis just destroys Gamboa in the 12th round. I mean, the knockout was devastating. Some of the uppercuts in that fight was just, whew. Gamboa is not known for his chin. Like Mauro Ranallo, the commentator, was saying that he's been down 14 times in his fight, but the guy's only lost 2 fights in his career before this one. Um, but let's before we get into Tank, is Gamboa the guy who was running through everyone before the same version of the guy who was running through everyone before the Bud Crawford fight? No, because the Bud Crawford fight, in my opinion, like when Terence Crawford knocked him out in the ninth round in their fight, it kind of brought, I don't know, maybe a little bit of doubt into Gamboa's mind because before that he was just running through people. And then after the Bud Crawford fight, he loses to, you could call him a journeyman, but Robinson Castellanos, if I'm pronouncing that wrong, you know, that was one of the fights that Gamboa was supposed to win but didn't, which was kind of shocking. I think he retired on the stool. He said something and I don't know. But Gamboa is towards the twilight end of his career. He's 38 years old. He's done a lot in the sport. Like, let's not count that out. He's a gold medalist in the Olympics, a bronze medalist in the World Championships, and multiple weight class champ. But he isn't at his peak anymore. He's on the decline. But this fight, like I said, 14 times the man's been down in his career. But in this fight, he had the ability to take some heavy, heavy shots. Now, the fight had a lot of things happening. In the second round, for example, the first knockdown, it happens in transition. Tank lands like a pretty good left hand, and it drops him. It kind of just glances him, and he hits the canvas. It wasn't like a devastating punch. But at that point in time, he says something's wrong with his shoe. And Paulie Malignaggi, on the commentator, he also points out, it looks like his foot's coming out of his shoe through the side. There's something wrong with the support in the shoe. Turns out at the end of the fight that the guy had a ruptured Achilles. So from round 2 to round 12, he was basically fighting on one leg. And Davis was in control throughout the whole fight. Let's not deny that. I mean, he knocked him down again in the 8th round. Then in the 12th round, he finishes him off. The only time Tank was in trouble was, I think it was around 7, 8, or 9, where he had a lapse in concentration and he looked away from the ring. I mean, he kind of looked outside. Something was going outside and he kind of shifted his glance. And it was during the clinch that he looked away. And Gamboa landed like 3 punches on him. Which I think if it was a younger Gamboa, maybe 2014, 2013 version of Gamboa, I mean, Tank might have been in trouble at that point of time, But Tank comes out of that and just beats the daylights out of the guy. But, the thing I noticed here is that Tank at 130 was just running over people. I mean, he's only gone the distance once before. He's only ever gone the distance once, ever. But he had like a lot of one punch knockout power at 130. But against somebody who is kind of known for having a glass chin in Gamboa, some of his hardest punches, Gamboa could take them. I mean, it's only a 5 pound jump between 130 and 135. But that is a big difference, you know. And Gamboa could take some of his best shots. And another thing I want to know is, again, this is with regards to like missing weight. Tank was averaging around 15 to 20 punches a round. And he was kind of gassed out by the end of the fight. And again, that brings in a question because Tank's managed by Floyd Mayweather. You can love or hate Floyd, but there's one thing you can never deny about the man is that his work ethic, he has never come into a fight out of shape. He has a gas tank that can never be questioned. And at the end of the 12th round, Floyd could, in my book, most probably go another 12 rounds, no issues whatsoever. So I think Floyd might, at the end of this, towards the next fight, might sit down with Tank and tell him to get serious in terms of, his strength and conditioning, being in shape between fights, not using a fight camp to just lose weight, but to just build up his skill level. Because Tank's only 25. So Tank has the people around him that can help him with this. And another thing, this is something I want people to give me their opinions on. At 130, he's a one-punch hitter. One punch, the other guy quits. But will that tactic work again at 135? Tank is someone who just edges closer into distance, sets up his jab really well, punches off his jab, but he is not someone, at least in the Gamboa fight, he didn't throw as many combinations as he should have, as he could have. And his corner in round 11, 10, 11, and 12, 10, 11 kind of made that clear that you need to be throwing a little bit more volume. So I don't think his power is going to carry over that cleanly into 135, even though he's a devastating puncher. The fact that he couldn't put out Gamboa, who is, again, sus chin, kind of says things. But to sum it up, Davis did what he had to. Gamboa kind of had shit luck with the second round Achilles rupture. The conditioning that he came in, the gas tank, these are all questions that he has to now answer in his next fight. And 135 has some serious killers in it, For example, in that weight range, you have guys like Teofimo Lopez. Now, you can hate Teo. You can say a lot of things. A lot of people question his dad for saying that he's going to be the future, but Teofimo has never come out of shape. He is a clear knockout artist. And what he did to Richard Comey, Comey is not the biggest 135er, we know that, but in 2 rounds he starches Richard Comey, and you got to give him props for that. Another young cat in the game at 135 is Devin Haney. And Devin Haney, just like Theo, has had a phenomenal year. I think he won KO of the year for 2019. Dude has a phenomenal skill set. He's very defensively sound. So these are guys who have not shown a clear chink in their armor at this point, especially Devin Haney. Now, Teofimo, I forget the guy, I think it was a Japanese guy he had his previous fight with. A lot of people had questions about that. I mean, I don't think you should read too much into that. Just like you shouldn't read too much into like the Gamboa fight, because Tank can always correct these things. But I'm saying, out of the 3 young guns, right now I'd say it's Haney and Lopez at 1 and Davis right below. But the question is, at 135, after Teofimo beat Richard Comey, Vasily Lomachenko, aka White Jesus, aka Ukrainian Jesus, kind of made it clear that he's going to fight Lopez next. And after that, he wants to set up a super fight with Tank Davis at 135. Now, how do I think that goes? Now, do these guys have an opponent, a high level opponent between the two of them? Yes, they do. They have Jose Petroza as a common opponent. Now, Petroza is someone who fought these two guys at two different weight classes. I think he fought Loma at 135 and he fought, um, I think he fought Tank at featherweight. Forgive me if I'm wrong on that, but it was a lower weight class. And Petroza had a tough time. Petroza had a tough time making weight in that division. I think it was featherweight. He had a tough time making weight at that division. So he was a bit on the drained side, but I mean, he got sparked by Tank Davis. I think that was one of Davis's best performance ever because Petroza hadn't lost in that ever till that fight, and Tank just starched him. Loma, on the other hand, again put on a masterful performance. Didn't finish the guy. Got a 12 round unanimous decision over him. Again, you can't read in too much of this because Loma is not somebody that is a one punch knockout artist. He's not known for that. He's known as volume, pressure, and he's just trying to frustrate you the whole time. He did knock out Anthony Crolla in looked like a one punch, but that was like a beautifully placed one punch. Even so, let's look at it like this: Devin Haney and Loma are not one punch knockout guys. Teofimo and Davis are. But this is an interesting thing, and I think Tank Davis could, like if I'm bringing into question Davis's future as Davis as the future of boxing, his next performance could wipe away all this doubt that I might have, because the guy clearly has the talent. The only thing you want to know is because he misses weight, he misses, he kind of gasses out in the fight, throwing a very low punch count. These are things that might, if not corrected right now, it could come back to haunt him in the future. But these are the fights that I'm looking forward to, because between Haney, Teofimo, Tank, and Loma, right now I have Loma just taking these guys to school. Because Loma can get touched up. Let's not deny the fact that he is a wizard when it comes to like footwork, but he's been knocked down. He can get touched up. We've seen that. But then again, Loma does stay in the fire because he wants to make it a little bit more exciting. He could always just stand on the outside and just outbox the guy clearly, but he wants to make it entertaining. So if Tank's power carried over from 130 to 135 that easily, he might be able to catch Loma with something. I mean, Loma can. None of these guys are gonna outbox Loma. Again, I might get haters for this, but I think in terms of being the best boxers, it's always gonna be Loma. As of right now, is Loma in one, Devin Haney, because I think Haney has a lot of boxing talent. He hasn't shown any chink in his armor so far. I'd have Teo, and based on the last performance, I'd have it Loma 1, Haney 2, Teofimo at 3, and Tank Davis at 4. But if anyone's gonna beat them, I don't think Devin Haney's gonna outbox Lomachenko. And Devin Haney, while he did get the knockout of the year, he's not really a knockout artist per se, because he, let's say, what is it? Let me check his record again on this thing. Yeah, he's 24 wins, no losses, but with 15 knockouts. The other guys are just knockout machines. I don't think Haney's gonna be at this point in his career able to outbox Lomachenko, but Loma can get caught. I mean, Lenara showed that you can catch Loma. Loma, just like anyone else, Loma gets lazy in the ring. But I mean, if I look at it on pure statistics, pure facts, and I take out the human things about people being lazy in camp, and if all of these guys come into the ring at 100%, I'd give somebody. I'd say Loma schools all of them right now. But I would wish. I mean, all of this thing, all of this could change very quickly if in Tank's next fight he just comes in at 100 and shows us something that his power carries over, his conditioning isn't an issue, but more importantly that he can work upon his boxing skills, because this one punch thing where he sets up power shots is not gonna, it might make him too predictable for someone like Loma. But yeah, I mean, I think Tank could be the future of boxing. He just needs, because the guy who manages Tank is Floyd, and Leonard Ellaby, like like Mayweather's partner, manager, whatever the guy is. He's always said that what makes Floyd different from every other fighter is his work ethic. Is that he never brings into the ring any doubt that he's prepared to 100%. Maybe if Tank comes in at 100%, he might be the clear favorite to take the crown in the next, in the next 5 years. Because Loma's at 32. I'd see Loma start to decline by the time he gets to 35. And the reason I say Loma would decline is simply because boxers tend to at first lose out on speed, on reflexes. And that's what Loma's main thing is. The last thing to go is power. And, so for the next couple of years, Loma's going to be the dominant one. These three are going to be the guys chasing the crown. Or you never know that, fuck it, it's boxing, you never know. Maybe when Loma fights Teofimo, he just gets smashed out. I don't see Teofimo being able to do that to Loma. I see it as a boxing school, like boxing class by masterclass given out by Lomachenko. And no hate against Teofimo Lopez. Phenomenal talent. I hope he proves me wrong, I always have this thing where the underdog in the story, if he shocks me, I'm never gonna be like mad and say, I'm still not gonna change my opinion. But yeah, as a Tank, he's in uncertain territory as of right now. There are a lot of questions surrounding it, but one good performance in his next fight and it all goes away. So tell me what you guys think about my opinion, whether you agree, you disagree. Like, comment, share, subscribe, do all that stuff, and thanks once again, See you.